Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to View Now Do. We're going to show you how to make a deer stand, and we're going to do it fast. First, you got to start with a list. Let's go ahead and run down the things we need.
Chainsaw, hammer, nails, screw gun, small sledgehammer, post hole digger, shovel, tape, pencil, paint, paintbrushes, roller, skill saw, chalk box, and ladder.
And don't forget beer, liquid nails, lunch, a level, a handsaw, a bobcat, and more beer. Alright, we're all packed up. Let's go ahead and load up the bobcat. Hey, nice landing. Alright, a good landing. And how about that dismount?
Yeah!
Alright, time to get the necessary supplies. We're going to build this thing out of as many scrap leftover pieces as we possibly can, but we're going to start with some new 16-foot treated 4x4s. Now, we want to make it back to the house in time for beer drinking and water skiing, so we're going to build this thing fast and it's going to get crooked. So, when you start with the 4x4s, take a look down them. You want them to be straight, not curved or twisted. Alright, time to mow down the woods. We need to mow ourselves a spot on which to build the deer stand. This is where the bobcat comes in. If you got one, it's a lot easier than using a weed whacker and a chainsaw. Alright, now it's time to pick the exact location on which you're going to build your deer stand. You want to get up high and take a look around. So, set up your ladder. Make sure you've got a good line of sight to things like food plots, watering holes, deer trails. You want to be able to blast them and blast them easy. Close your eyes. Imagine there's a deer, a big buck, slowly walking up the path. Yeah. That's where you want to be. That, my friends, that's the spot. Alright, you got your spot picked out. Now it's time to unload the truck and start work. You're going to start by, obviously, digging yourself a hole in which to put your first post. You're going to do this with a couple of the tools. Obviously the shovel, and you got it, the post hole digger. It can get difficult when you're digging in this brush, but where there's a will, there's a way. You only need a couple of feet. Remember, you got 16-foot posts, and you want to be up high enough to, well, see the deer. Don't forget to tamp your posts in. Alright, cut yourself your first brace. Now we're using old 2x4s from a house that we tore down back in the late 90s. Again, we're using as much scrap stuff as we possibly can. Alright, on with the next brace. Now, we forgot our level, so we used an old water bottle with a little bit of water left in it. It makes a decent level. It's better than eyeballing it, and you don't have to run back to the garage. Alright, looking really good. Now, you're going to have to make sure that you think about how you brace it as you build it. This thing gets a little wobbly when you got these posts sticking up in the air. Alright, now we got to build our floor. We've got some scrap 2x6s. We pre-drill them, put a little glue on them, and we're going to use these as the basic support for our platform. When we were out for lunch, we picked up a level to make things just a little bit easier. We also realized that we're running out of time. Remember, we want to get back for beer drinking and water skiing, so instead of actually building a platform, we found an old dock piece, an old metal dock section that we decided we would use for the platform instead of actually making it out of wood. The deer stand had to be modified just a little bit. We had to add an extra 2x6 in order to fit the platform on it just exactly right. But that's pretty easy, and we had plenty of leftover scrap 2x6s to use. Alright, time to put on the sides. This'll keep the wind off your back, but most importantly, it'll keep the deer from seeing you. Sometimes it helps to have somebody hold the posts in position so it's straight while you nail the sides on. Alright, now these sides were a bit high, so we had to make a slight modification. But it's easy to do. We just needed to shorten them, and it's quick work with a chainsaw. Alright, we're almost done. Make sure you paint your roof while it's on the ground. It's easier that way. Our roof and sides are made out of leftover chipboard from a garage our grandfather built. So it's not cut to order and you can see things aren't lining up perfectly. That's okay. Nail it and move on. Alright, finish the painting and you're done. I hope you enjoyed this episode of You Now Do. You Now Do.